Hello, my name is Catherine Jilks and I'm the Outreach Coordinator at Heritage Saskatchewan. Today we're going to learn about details to improve your Heritage Fair's video for the virtual Heritage Fair. The most important thing to remember about making your Heritage Fair video is that watching a video is very different from watching a presentation at a live event. The audience, including the judges, can only see what the camera shows them. You can use this to your advantage, like to show close-ups of photos, charts, models, etc. We will get into some tips about that shortly. Another important thing to remember about your video is that you don't want to distract your audience from your presentation. Lots of things can be distracting for your audience, including camera angles, lighting, and background noise. Of course, judges will expect some distractions because you can't account for everything, just like at a live presentation. However, we will still give you some tips about how to avoid putting distractions in your video. As also mentioned in our basic video requirements episode, and check that one out if you haven't already, think of the camera as the audience's eyes. The camera should be at your eye level so the audience is not looking up or down at you. If you're using a phone to record, hold it horizontally and you will get a better framed video. If you are not appearing in the video, or when you do a close-up, the camera is still the audience's eyes. Present as though the audience is next to you and you are showing them your display. Make sure that the camera has a chance to focus so that the audience can see what you're showing them before you move on to another part of your display. If there is something that you really want to show the audience, like a slideshow, artifact, photo, etc., consider also submitting it, or a photo of it, separately from your video so that the audience can go back over it after they have finished watching. This is also helpful in case you forget to include something in your presentation, or if you had to cut something to keep your video to the right length. Avoid recording everything in one long take. Edit out mistakes and long pauses as much as possible, although it's okay to speak naturally. Try to sound as though you are presenting to someone in the room with you. Memorize as much as possible, but remember that you can use cues such as cards, your display, or something off camera like a computer to help you remember. Avoid simply reading your paper on camera. Your audience will want to connect with you, and they can't do that if you spend most of your video reading and looking away from them. Your camera should be stable. Put your camera on a stable surface, like a table, or use a tripod. If someone is holding the camera, make sure that they are resting it against something that does not easily move, like the back of a couch. Don't forget that the camera is still the audience's eyes. If the camera is on a table at the same height or lower than your project, the audience will be looking up at you. Keep your camera at the same height as your eyes. Integrate images of your display or photos from your project into your video to help illustrate your presentation. You can use animation software, reenactments, or skits to help illustrate your presentation. You can also use things like stuffed animals, Lego, action figures, or any other items to contribute to your presentation. In a video, the audience can see the reenactment up close without having to bend awkwardly into your display. You could also use other parts of your home, like showing how to cook something in your kitchen, or demonstrating the Halifax explosion in your sink or bathtub. Remember that these are all supposed to help you illustrate your presentation, not be the only thing that you show us. Unless you have a specific reason for including your feet or something on the floor, frame the video so that the audience only sees you from the waist up. In order to keep the framing so that you are only seen from the waist up, try to keep your waist at the same height or lower than your display. Also, make sure that your head is still in the frame. You don't have to be standing. Sitting on a chair or on the floor beside your project is perfectly acceptable. If you want to include a screen in your video, such as if you want to present a PowerPoint or a photo slideshow, be extra careful about lighting and reflections. If you want the audience to focus on what is on the screen, make sure the camera focuses on it, not you. On the other hand, if the screen is supposed to be part of your background and you don't want the audience to focus on it, either make sure that the rest of the room is bright enough that the camera focuses on you and the rest of your display rather than the screen, or turn the screen off while the audience is not supposed to be looking at it. Consider submitting the file separately so that the judges can read or look at it later. As well as with screens, be careful about reflections in mirrors and windows. Avoid having mirrors, windows, or other shiny surfaces, like cabinets with glass doors, in your video. That brings us to our section on distractions, which we will cover in part 2 of this video.